Yesterday we finished reading the first sutta of non-returning, the section of non-returning. Today we are going to continue with the second sutta, 4 kinds of persons. There are, O monks, 4 kinds of persons found existing in the world. What for? Here, monks, in this very life, a person attains nibbana through volitional exertion. Here, with the breakup of the body, a person attains final nibbana through volitional exertion. Here, in this very life, a person attains final nibbana without volitional exertion. Here, with the breakup of the body, a person attains final nibbana without volitional exertion. The first kind, through volitional exertion in this very life. Second, the same thing, through volitional exertion as well, but with the breakup of the body, which means upon death. Then the third kind, without volitional exertion, attains nibbana in this very life. And then the fourth kind, without volitional exertion, with the breakup of the body, which means upon death. These are the 4 kinds. What exactly are these 4 kinds? Let's read on to find out. Sister Chaikon, would you like to continue?
And how, monks, does a person in this very life attain nibbana through volitional exertion? Here a monk dwells contemplating the unattractiveness of the body, perceiving repulsiveness in food, perceiving discontent with the entire world, contemplating impermanence in all formations, and the perception of death is well established within him. He dwells relying upon these 5 powers of a training, the powers of faith, moral shame, fear of wrongdoing, energy, and wisdom. These 5 faculties are extremely strong in him. The faculties of faith, energy, mindfulness, concentration, and wisdom. Because of the strength of these 5 faculties, in this very life, he attains nibbana through volitional exertion. This is how a person in this very life attains nibbana through volitional exertion. And how, monks, does a person with the breakup of the body attain nibbana through volitional exertion? Here a monk dwells contemplating the unattractiveness of the body, and the perception of death is well established within him. He dwells relying upon these 5 powers of a training, the powers of faith up to the power of wisdom. These 5 faculties are relatively feeble in him, the faculties of faith up to wisdom. Because of the feebleness of these 5 faculties, with the breakup of the body, he attains nibbana through volitional exertion. This is how a person with the breakup of the body attains nibbana through volitional exertion. Thank you.
Thanks, Sister Chaikon. Notice that these 2 paragraphs are very similar. The difference is, okay, firstly, let's highlight this is the faculties of faith, energy, mindfulness, concentration, and wisdom. The first paragraph mentioned that these 5 faculties, the 5 powers, are extremely strong in him. While the next paragraph is also the same 5 powers, but these 5 faculties are relatively feeble relatively weak in him. That difference will differentiate these two kinds of person. If the powers are strong, that person in this very life will attain Nibbana through volitional exertion. If it's relatively feeble, then he will attain Nibbana upon death with the breakup of the body. But both are still through volitional exertion. There's one footnote, number 31. These are meditation subjects that lead to disenchantment and dispassion. Let me highlight. This whole line. Contemplating the unattractiveness of the body, perceiving repulsiveness in food, perceiving discontent with the entire world, contemplating impermanence in all formations, and the perception of death. Okay. So this leads to disenchantment and dispassion. The unattractiveness of the body is at text chapter 8, section 8. The reflection on the repulsiveness of food is explained at Visuddhimagga. Yeah. All these are the references to other suttas, in case we are interested to read more in detail. Sister Saika, would you like to continue?
And how, monks, does a person in this very life attain Nibbana without volitional exertion? Here, secluded from sensual pleasures, secluded from unwholesome states, a monk enters and dwells in the first jhana, all the way up to the fourth jhana. He dwells relying upon these 5 powers of a training, the powers of faith, all the way to wisdom. These 5 faculties are extremely strong in him. The faculties of faith up to faculties of wisdom. Because of the strength of these 5 faculties, in this very life, he attains Nibbana without volitional exertion. This is how a person in this very life attains Nibbana without volitional exertion. And how, monks, does a person with the breakup of the body attain Nibbana without volitional exertion? Here, secluded from sensual pleasures, secluded from unwholesome states, a monk enters and dwells in the first jhana, all the way up to the fourth jhana. He dwells relying upon these 5 powers of training, the powers of faith, way up to wisdom. These 5 faculties are relatively feeble in him, the faculties of faith, all the way up to wisdom. Because of the feebleness of these 5 faculties, the breakup of the body, he attains Nibbana without volitional exertion. This is how a person with the breakup of the body attains Nibbana without volitional exertion. These monks are the 4 kinds of persons found existing in the world. Anguttara Nikaya 4.169. Thank you.
Thanks, Sister Saika. These 2 paragraphs are again very similar, and the difference is again in the strength of the 5 faculties. The third one, extremely strong. If it's extremely strong, then he will attain Nibbana in this very life. If it's relatively feeble, relatively weak, then he will attain Nibbana with the breakup of the body upon death. Now, the last 2 differs from the first 2 in this line. First 2, there's no mention of jhana at all. The monk enters and dwells the first jhana all the way up to the fourth jhana. And same with the fourth kind of person. It's also mentioned, the jhana. So if you have jhana, then you are the type of person without volitional exertion can attain nibbana. We go back a little bit. Here, the method of the meditation is different. The first two kinds. Contemplating the attractiveness of the body all the way to the perception of death. So this is the classification. Let's continue with the next sutta. Sister Aikim, would you like to continue?
6 things that partake of true knowledge. On one occasion, the Blessed One was dwelling at Rajagaha in the bamboo grove, the squirrel sanctuary. Now, on that occasion, the lay followers, Digavu, was sick, afflicted, gravely ill. Then the lay follower, Digavu, addressed his father, the householder, Jotika, thus, "Come, householder, approach the Blessed One, pay homage to him in my name, with your head at his feet and say, Venerable Sir, the lay follower Digavu is sick, afflicted, gravely ill. He pays homage to the Blessed One with his head at the Blessed One's feet. Then say, it would be good, Venerable Sir, if the Blessed One would come to the residence of the lay follower Digavu out of compassion." "Yes, dear," the householder Jotika replied, and he approached the Blessed One, paid homage to him, sat down to one side, and delivered his message. The Blessed One consented by silence. Then the Blessed One, dressed and taking bow and robe, went to the residence of the lay follower Digavu. He then sat down in the appointed seat and said to the lay follower Digavu, "I hope you are bearing up, Digavu. I hope you are getting better. I hope your painful feelings are subsiding and not increasing, and that their subsiding, not their increasing, is to be discerned. Venerable Sir, I am not bearing up. I am not getting better. Strong, painful feelings are increasing in me, not subsiding, and their increase, not subsiding, is to be discerned. Therefore, Digavu, you should train yourself thus. I will be one who has confidence in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, and who observes the moral virtues dear to the noble ones, unbroken, untorn, unblemished, unmoted, freeing praise by the wise, ungrasped feeling leading to concentration. It is in such a way that you should train yourself."
Okay, thanks, Sister Aikim. Long story short, this lay follower, Digavu, is dying. And requested the Buddha to visit him, to give him teaching before he actually passes away. So here, Jotika is Digavu's father. And the father is the one who delivered the message to the Buddha. And the Buddha consented by silence. Okay, so the first teaching that the Buddha expounded to Digavu is the 4 factors of stream entry: confirm confidence in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, and also virtues dear to the noble ones. Sister Swami, would you like to continue?
Sorry, I should go at Venerable Sir. As to these 4 factors of stream entry that have been taught by the Blessed One, these things exist in me, and I live in conformity with those things. For Venerable Sir, I have confirmed confidence in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, and I observe the moral virtues dear to the noble ones. Therefore, Dighavu, established upon these 4 factors of stream entry, you should develop further 6 things that partake of true knowledge. Here, Dighavu, dwell contemplating impermanence in all formations, perceiving suffering in what is impermanent, perceiving one non-self in what is suffering, perceiving abandonment, perceiving fading away, perceiving cessation. It is such a way that you should train yourself. Venerable Sir, as to these 6 things that partake of true knowledge that have been taught by the Blessed One, these things exist in me, and I live in conformity with those things. For Venerable Sir, I dwell contemplating impermanence in all formations, perceiving suffering in what is impermanent, perceiving non-self in what is suffering, perceiving abandonment, perceiving fading away, perceiving cessation. However, Venerable Sir, I hope that after I expire, my father won't be distressed. Don't be concerned about this, dear Dighavu. Come now, dear Dighavu. Pay close attention to what the Blessed One is saying to you. Then the Blessed One, having given this exhortation to the lay follower Dighavu, rose from his seat and departed. Then, not long after the Blessed One had left, the lay follower Dighavu died.
Thanks, Sister Shwami. Footnotes number 32. At Anguttara Nikaya 510, the perception of abandonment, pahanasanya, is explained as the removal of defiled thoughts. At Anguttara Nikaya 5:110:11, the perception of dispassion, viragasanya, and the perception of cessation, nirodhasanya, are both explained as reflections on the attributes of Nibbana. Okay, so 6 things that partake of true knowledge. The first one, contemplating impermanence in all formations. The second one, perceiving suffering in what is impermanent, perceiving non-self in what is suffering. In other words, the 3 characteristics for the first 3. The fourth, perceiving abandonment. The fifth, perceiving fading away. And the last one, the 6th, perceiving cessation. Now, what stands out to me is that even though he is the one who's dying, he's most concerned about his own father. That is pretty heartwarming. Hope his father is not distressed when he expires. Okay. And of course, the Buddha said, yeah, don't be concerned about that, Dighavu. Not long after, then the lay follower Dighavu died. Okay. I will continue. Then a number of monks approached the Blessed One, paid homage to him, sat down to one side and said, Venerable Sir, the lay follower Dighavu has died. What is his destination? Where was he reborn? Monks, the lay follower Dighavu was wise. He practiced in accordance with the Dharma and did not trouble me on account of the Dharma. With the utter destruction of the 5 lower factors, the lay follower Dighavu has become one of spontaneous birth in the pure abodes, due to attain Nibbana there, without returning from that boat. From Samyutta Nikaya 55:3. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, there's one short sutta. Okay, let's continue. Let's finish these sections. Sister Chaikon, would you like to read?
5 kinds of non-returners. Monks. When these 7 factors of enlightenment have been developed and cultivated in this way, 7 fruits and benefits may be expected. What are the 7 fruits and benefits? 1. Attain final knowledge of arahantship early in this very life. If one does not attain final knowledge early in this very life, then one attains final knowledge at the time of death. If one does not attain final knowledge early in this very life or at the time of death, then with the utter destruction of the 5 lower factors, one attains Nibbana in the interval. If one does not attain final knowledge early in this life or attain Nibbana in the interval, then with the utter destruction of the 5 lower factors, one attains Nibbana upon landing.
Okay, thanks, Sister Chaikon. Footnotes number 33. Oh, long footnotes. Okay. SPK, the commentary explains the Antaparinibai, one who attains Nibbana in the interval, as one reborn in the pure abodes, who attains arahantship during the first half of the lifespan. This type is subdivided into 3, depending on whether arahantship is reached. On the very day of rebirth, after 1 or 200 eons have elapsed, or after 400 eons have elapsed, the Upachaparinibai, one who attains Nibbana upon landing, is explained as one who attains arahantship after passing the first half of the lifespan. For SPK, the Asankaparinibai, one who attains without exertion, and the Sasankaraparinibai, one who attains with exertion, then become 2 modes in which the first 2 types of non-returners attain the goal, respectively, easily and without strong effort, and with difficulty and strong effort. However, this account of the first 2 types disregards the literal meaning of their names and also overrides the sequential and mutually exclusive nature of the 5 types as delineated elsewhere in the suttas. There's a mouthful footnotes. So 5 kinds. This is the first kind, attains arahantship. If not, then one attains final knowledge at the time of death. If not, in the interval, utter destruction of the 5 lowers, one attains Nibbana in the interval. If not in the interval, then upon landing. And this one is the one that explained in the footnotes. In the interval, upon landing. Again. Sister Sakya, would you like to continue?
If one does not attain final knowledge early in this very life, or attain Nibbana upon landing, then with the utter destruction of the 5 lower fetters, one attain Nibbana without volitional exertion. If one does not attain final knowledge early in this very life, or attain Nibbana without volitional exertion, then with the utter destruction of the 5 lower fetters, one attains Nibbana with volitional exertion. If one does not attain final knowledge early in this very life, or attain Nibbana with volitional exertion, then with the utter destruction of the 5 lower fetters, one becomes one bound upstream, heading towards the Akarnika realm. When monks, the 7 factors of enlightenment have been developed and cultivated in this way, these 7 fruits and benefits may be expected from Samyutta Nikaya 46:3.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thanks, Sister Sakyang. Okay, so this one, another kind would be without volitional exertion. Then with volitional exertion. And then there's this line called heading towards Akanita realm. It's actually the first time I heard of this. Is this referring to the pure abodes? Yeah, I'm not too sure. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, this actually refers to the 7 fruits and benefits may be expected. Yeah. So I was not referring to the 5 kinds, so I was mistaken early on. Because if you count this, there are 7 types. So again, this refers to the 7 fruits and benefits. Okay, with that, we have finished. Yeah. Let's find out about the Akanita realm offline. What is this about? Okay, with that, we have finished the section of non-returning. Any questions or comments? Yeah, this might seem remote and distant for us right now, because this is far away from our stage, the non-returning. So when will this be useful? When we arrive near that stage, then we can refer back to this book. Oh, last time we have read this section. Oh, now I'm at this stage. Which one am I? Without volition, with volition. So we are planting the seeds for the future, our future self. If there's no comments, then Sister Aikin, would you like to do the dedication?
回向，愿消三障诸烦恼，愿得智慧真明了，普愿罪障悉消除，世世常行菩萨道。
Okay, thanks, Sister Aikin and Sister Chaikon. Till we meet again, may we be guided by the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Have a non-returning Thursday ahead. Thanks, everyone. See you guys next time. Peace out.